Alright. So Jay will jump in when he's got a clearer. He said he's in a bad area right now. Alrighty, so this is it. So, who wants to start first with the introduction?
Shouldn't it be you, because you're...
That's what I thought too.
Robbie looked right at me. He's like, Alrighty, well. So this is Game Development, Passions of an Indie Game Project. This is the group as known as GP Pro Creations. Just starting out. I am, well, I guess everyone appointed me lead designer and programmer. I don't know what I really do. No, I do the programming. I've come up with design. I gave the basic idea of what the project is, and pretty much I went on some indie sites and went to gamedev.net and put up a little classified and found Kylie and Loyal here. Robbie is
got a cheat sheet.
And I got a cheat sheet. And Robbie is actually a friend of mine. I used to work with his wife over at the base. I'm in the military and Coast Guard of the United States over here in Texas. So that's how we met up. The other one is Jeremy. He's not on right now because he's out getting groceries and whatnot, but he should be back on soon. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole spiel with that. And then whole reason I wanted to start this project was a few years ago. I was doing computer animation, some 3D modeling, and then some 2D animation. Really found a passion for it, but then I realized something that really came to mind was actually trying to implement into game development. So I started learning Unity, working on programming, working on just basic games, anything from like Asteroids to a little Galaga 2D shooter. And finally I came up with a little small idea for a game project. Talked to Robbie about it. He thought it was good. It'd be something to do. And then started getting a little harder doing it by myself, and that's why I realized I could definitely use a group, especially on the artist side, because I'm not that good of an artist. And that's where I found Kylie. And then I needed someone with some organization skills, because I'm terrible at that. And I also needed a good secondary designer, especially a level designer, which is how Loyal came about. Definitely first games I started on playing was NES, like Mega Man, Metroid, old Mario Brothers. Ever since then, I've had nothing but passion for gaming. Yeah, but probably biggest games I play are RPGs and really story-driven games. Stuff like Mass Effect, Skyrim, stuff like that. So, let's see, next person, let's go with Kylie. Kylie, you tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Kylie. I just graduated from high school out here in Hawaii. I kind of always had a passion for drawing, any kind of art, and I had an early introduction to video games. I think my first console was a PSP when I was 10 years old. My first game was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So that's how I got started in games. Recently I found Elysian Shadows. I think that was back in 2012, and it kind of showed me that, all my passion for drawing and music, I can, bring it more meaning when I put it in games. So that's what kind of got me started. Yeah, so basically what I do here is I'm I guess from what I understand, the main artist. So
I think you pretty much got it. Loyal, you want to go next? or Robbie?
Alright. So, I'm Cedric Martins, and it's my real name. Yeah, in the internet, I usually have to make loyalty or my daughter or something along these lines. I'm an 18 years old student from Germany. Uh, Currently going to start my last year in 1 week. Yeah, in GP Pro Creations, I'm going to work in games design, level design, and also kind of take the role of the producer. Yeah, how I got here is basically the story is I was looking for a good project to join since my other skills aren't really that good to make a game completely on my own. Yeah, found Harold's ad on GameDev.net, and so I could join. Yeah, my goal here is I want to build up my portfolio. Already have some games ready, and yeah, maybe a dream come true for me would be to work in real game studio. Yeah, how I got into gaming. I started, I think, in kindergarten with a Super Nintendo and a Game Boy. Yeah, basically games like Super Mario World, Pokemon. Um, got a computer with, I don't know when I got a computer, maybe with 10 or so. Yeah, I've been playing a lot since then. And then I started programming with, I don't know, 14, 15, because I grew a bit bored from just playing these games, so I want to do some myself. I fiddled around a bit with programming, then I got over to the graphics, and now finally I'm at game design, and that's what I'm really doing and what I'm good at. Yeah, I think that's it.
Alright, I'm Robbie. I'm probably the old man of the group. I'm 34. I'm currently in school right now. I'm in my last two classes for my Associate of Arts in Web Design. I'll be graduating on the 20th. My classes don't end until the 21st of September, though. I was originally taking programming, but when I got to my web design class, I kind of found a passion for it, so I kind of changed over or whatever. Harold kind of drug me into this because he kept talking about it and being lazy, and I had to get on his ass and make him start doing something. That's how y'all ended up being here.
It's true.
First games, I had an Atari when I was about 5 years old. That was back in about 1985. I played Super Breakout and stuff like that, and I got a Nintendo. Never really went with games after that. None of the newer stuff, like the Genesis and the Dreamcast and all those that came out, SNS or SNES, any of that. Now I bought an Xbox one day and started playing again, but right now I'm currently into Call of Duty Ghost. I play it religiously almost every day. Thanks to Harold, because he actually bought me the game. Yeah, bro. I don't know what all we list over there, man.
What do you do for us?
Let's see. So I guess I'm lead web design, and what else did you want me to do? PR, lead PR. As you can see, I already have a template set up for the website. I'm gonna start filling in some content here in the next couple of days. Try and get some stuff up, post everybody's bios, basically everything you just said today. I'm gonna try to put up on the website with a picture of yourself next to it. You know what I'm saying? Letting everybody know who everybody is. I'll try to discuss the game a little bit. Try to get some of that content on there, and as soon as you can come up with some art and stuff like that, I'll start putting the gallery up. Get some of that art up on the website or whatever, so everybody can see.
Well, that's pretty much it.
I guess that about covers it for me.
And then our other person, who's not here right now, hopefully he'll jump on, but I'll introduce him a little bit. His name is Jeremy. He's going to be our lead sound designer. He has a passion for the old NES and Super Nintendo, Sega music. He loves that just the old school, like Final Fantasy music, Zelda. He showed me a few things that he's done just by simply looking at some testing of a game that I did before, and he's pretty just spot on by looking at the art, looking at the design, and knowing what sounds need to go in there for that specific level and character. So he's a real good asset to have on there. We met when I moved down to Texas. He actually was my supervisor, and then he moved down the road a little bit. So that kind of gave a background of his gaming history. He's been playing games since probably NES and even before that. I know his biggest game that he loves the most is Kingdom Hearts, because he never stops talking about it. He won't play Final Fantasy, but he'll play the Kingdom Hearts all the time. So that's a little intro about him. So when he possibly gets on, I'll let him introduce himself a little bit more. So now let's get into what we're doing. The project that we're doing doesn't quite have a name. It's been shifted around with a little bit of project names between Shape Defender. And right now I put up a little something calling it Project Elemental. Eventually we'll come up with a title for it, but pretty much it's back to the old school retro Super Nintendo, even maybe a little bit of PlayStation 1 style game. Side scroller adventure game. It's about pretty much 5 characters, all with different elemental abilities of earth, wind, fire, air, and then we're going to throw a 5th one in there as a little bit different compared to everyone else's, which is electricity. And pretty much best way to describe it, it's a little bit of Sonic mixed in with some Mega Man and kind of the ideas of The Last Airbender with the style of the elemental fighting and techniques used. Pretty much our plans for it, I mean, we've discussed it a couple times. We want to put it out on a web player first, pretty much with the beta and the alpha and a demo, and then get it onto Steam so that way we could port it out to the PC, the Mac, and the Linux. A little bit of a stretch goal for it. I mean, my idea for it was trying to get it onto the Xbox and PlayStation and maybe even make a mobile version of it. So far, I've just been doing the framework programming to get the basis down, so that way I could help these guys implement their side of it. Soon, hopefully soon, next week or two, we can get a video or at least some pictures of what we're doing, so that way you guys can see that we're not really pretty much, just blowing smoke out of our ass. We actually have a project that we're working on and we're really proud of. Yeah, I mean, Loyal, what have you done so far with it?
I've set up an asset list. That's not well, okay. I've set up an asset list. already got some stuff into it, but it's far from finished. I also made some smaller sketches of how level could look like, how it could work. Besides of that, I'm currently preparing some, let's say, design questions for the game, so we can hopefully solve any problems the design before it's too late. Yeah, that's mostly it. If I haven't forgot anything. Oh yeah, and I'm doing the meeting logs.
Alrighty. Robbie, why don't you show what you did with the website so far? I know we all seen it before, but maybe it's something that people would like to see. A little preview of how the site is going.
Yeah, as you can see, I just got a little template so far. That's the main thing. I wanted to get a template ready. I'll start adding in some JavaScript, try and make these buttons pop a little more. Maybe even put some sound effects in whenever you scroll over them. I'll start getting some content in or whatever. For right now, we just kind of decided on this background. Me and Harold talked about it last night. We settled on this for the time being until we decide on something better to put back there. So that's just kind of a placeholder really for right now.
All right, Kylie, what do you got? I know you showed us some tiling work that you've been working on, which I know you said was your first time, but
Yeah, a lot of this is first time stuff. I was looking through the asset list and I noticed that Loyal had mentioned trees. So I started working on like a concept for trees. It's all learning on the job. So I've been it's coming along. I've been having to restart it a lot. But I think I finally got it. I can send you guys later, I guess, a picture of the unfinished one just so that you can see how it's been going. But been working on that and some tiles. Not tiles, sorry, textures. I had some ideas for sand, dirt, and rock. And just something for us to work with, just to have a visual, something visual to look at. And yeah, I think that's about all I did this week.
you got anything that you want to show on there with the share screen or little gallery
Do you mind
preview?
if I open the project?
Go ahead.
Okey-doke. Hmm. Okay, is it working? Can you see it?
Did you put it on share yet?
Yeah, it should be.
It hasn't gone up yet.
Make sure you hit that OK button.
Yeah, sometimes it won't let you.
Oh, I knew that.
All right, so let's talk about. So my idea with this project was a baseline to start other projects for, again, like people like us who have a good idea and maybe not have a team yet to start up, but could use the help or push. Like I know Loyal and Kylie have talked about they want to get into the game development business and, you know, get into a studio. I mean, I would like to start my own studio especially with these guys, because these guys are great. I mean, they got great ambition so far from what I could tell. And I know we've talked about before with their ideas of games that they would like to do, and I'm completely for it 100%. And I wouldn't say that's what this project's riding on. I think this project is more of a way to show our passion for what we want to do and really get it out there, that pretty much get our skills and our ideas of what we could do, you know, pretty much share with the world what we have in store for them, and then go on from there. Just keep making even more projects than that. I mean, I know myself, I have probably 10 different scripts I've written for other games, just basic ideas and some story driven stuff. Yeah, and again, I know Robbie's told me he's got some. Laurel, you've told me you have several. I mean, I know I saw your profile of the stuff that you've worked on. Kylie has even talked to me about some other some simple ideas that she's come up with and art that she's made for other things. I mean, this is pretty much just the way to open the door to that. So yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, we would love for followers, you know, really look into our project, and we'll show you what we could do, and we'll really, you know, we'll get it out there. We'll show you what passion can really do for a game project, because if you've seen any of the indie games nowadays, there's a reason why they're becoming big, is because it's not so much a corporate thing where they're just putting out games to make money. Indie developers put out games to show what passion they have for making games and how much they love them, and just, you know, it's stuff like that you know you get recognition for. I mean, you could even look at it in indie videos of people making their own TV shows or movies and whatnot. It's really starting to blow up, and even you know, the game development side knows that even the big companies are looking towards the indie projects, because they've already started a little bit of their own with Ubisoft did their Child of Light. Even though people like to consider it's an indie game, it's technically not. It's still made by a company. It's just, it seems like it actually has heart to it compared to some other games where it's more like, I wouldn't say it didn't have heart from the people that made it, but it just had that little bottleneck from the corporate side where, you know, you get the business people that don't quite understand how people like us think, and they're just kind of looking at the dollar signs. I will say, I will, you know, jump on what Kylie said about Elysium Shadows. That was actually a big turning point for me for when I was looking into game development, because to be honest, me and, you know, we're about those guys' age. I mean, they're about the same age as us, and they've been doing it for 7 years, working on this game, and it's a huge passion for them, and you could see it. I mean, I can't wait till that comes out. I've already backed it, so that's another thing. I mean, definitely, if you guys see this, look at Elysium Shadows. They're a real indie, just game studio that really has been doing it for 7 years to keep an idea in their head and keep going. And they're still making it for the Sega Dreamcast, which is a 15-year-old system, because that's just, you know, that's their passion, that's their dream. So, I mean, that's all I gotta say about that. So you guys want to close out with anything? Loyal, you want to close out with anything you gotta say?
I'm good. I think you covered everything, didn't you?
Yeah. Let's see. Luckily, I could edit all this video. I got like 30 different files by now. So let's see, we cover the website. So we got the website up. It's not quite up yet. It's, Robbie here has been working on it pretty hard. He's got the basic template and everything that we want to put on it's still being made right now, and we'll get it up there. We're gonna try to do. I would like to try to do these YouTube meetings, pretty much showing you what we've been doing, what we're working on every week if we can. Possibly either on, maybe not every Saturday, but at least a weekly or a bi-weekly update of what we're doing. Follow us on Twitter. We got a Twitter account for this. The company's is at GP Pro Creations. Laurel, I believe you got a Twitter account as well, right?
Yep.
And Kylie's got a Twitter account. Laura, what's your Twitter account?
It's let's see, I don't know exactly. Yeah, at Laurie Laughter.
Yeah, and then we got a Facebook as well. It's also GP Pro Creations. You can check us out on there. We'll be putting updates as much as possible on all that. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, we'll try to do every other day or every day. Also, we're also on IndieDB. We got a site on there. It's also under GP Pro Creations. Soon we'll get the game project on there as well once we actually have some art for you guys to look at and some real stuff for you to look at. I know Kylie just jumped off.